Honorable Ben Mzondu.
Mzondu Benjamin Bem Mzondu. I represent the people of Makudi, Guma. We are from Benue State. I also represent the unemployed youth of this nation, Honorable Speaker. I rise this morning to come with a motion arising order 8 through 4 and 8-7 to bring a matter of urgent public importance on the need to make sure that Nigeria is no more losing about 600 billion naira as a result of the Apapa gridlock and the collapse in some of the key wards in some of the terminals that have been privatized. That is the subject of the motion. I so move, sir.
Yagba East, Yagba West, Mopamurufera constituency. I'm from Kogi.
My colleagues, I remain Honorable Benjamin Bem Mzondu. Speaks that Apapa and Tinkan Island ports were concessioned to private operators policy for efficiency and cost reduction through privatization by the Bureau of Public Enterprises, BP, in 2006. Also note that the lease/concession agreement were executed in 2006, wherein terminal operations were transferred to private operators with specific obligations to develop, operate, and market the concession in accordance with approved business development plans. While the federal government, through the Nigerian Ports Authority, retained obligations of providing port access roads, dredging, the waterfront security, pilotage, access to utilities, repair of the quay wall and the apron area. Aware that Nigeria loses about 600 billion naira monthly, according to an all-African publication of the 21st of December 2018, as a direct result of poor state of port access roads at the Apapa and the Tinkan Island. Despite plethora of interventions by the government on the issue of traffic gridlock in Apapa and Tinkan ports, the unpalatable development has continued unabated with calamitous economic effects on the nation's economy. Also aware that all private terminal operators in the port have met and exceeded covenanted obligations as regard investment in infrastructure, plants, equipment, and payment of lease and throughput fields consistently over the years, except for one or two affected by the change in monetary and fiscal policies of the government. Recall that the provision of port access roads, repair of the quay walls, and the apron area and other operational infrastructure are obligations of the federal government of Nigeria through the Nigerian Ports Authority under the respective lease and concession agreements, and failure to which has consequences on the revenue of our dear nation. Further aware that on Friday, the 29th of November 2019, the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, on oversight visit in some of the port terminals, noticed some severe damages on some of the quay walls and the apron areas. Who is the responsibility of our government to fix this decaying infrastructure? Worried that the collapse of the quay walls and the apron area of the terminal, which has the length of about 438 meters, could lead to closure of the only terminal which receives vehicle cargoes from across the world into Nigeria being closed, and loss of huge revenue accruable to government and loss of job to many Nigerians. Further worried that the Roro Tinkan Island port alone provides over 500 direct employment and over 300 indirect employment to auxiliary business individuals and corporate bodies around the port. Cognizant that at the height of rising indices of unemployment in Nigeria, urgent measures must be taken by the Nigerian Ports Authority, Bureau of Public Enterprise, BP, and other relevant government agencies to fix the collapsed infrastructure in and around the terminal. Disturbed that the poor state of the quay walls and apron at Tinkan Island complex constitute a major threat to the survival of the entire port, as it may collapse at any moment if urgent step is not taken to arrest this ugly trend. Convinced that Apapa and the Tinkan Island port in Lagos are the gateway to Nigeria's economy, with huge accruable revenue and employ thousands of its citizens, the collapse of this war will lead to the closure of the ports and render millions jobless, and then further cripple the economies and activities in and around the port, particularly in Nigeria in general. I therefore urge the House to resolve to 1, urge the Nigerian Ports Authority and other relevant government agencies as a matter of urgency to commence the repairs of the quay wall and the apron area in the Roro Tinkan Island terminal under the concession agreements as stated. 2, mandate the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization to immediately convene a stakeholders consultative meeting to find a lasting solution to the gridlock through concession on Apapa and Tinkan Island access road. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Nigeria is more of an importing country than an exporting country. Therefore, these ports are key sectors in the economy of our nation. These ports were leased out under the privatization arrangement in 2006. And there are covenanted obligations on both parties, both the operators and government. And part of the major obligations on government is to make sure the access roads to the ports is accessible, the waterfront security is also secured, and to also fix the quay wall. The quay wall is like a retaining wall where the ship dock. Our visit to the port on our Committee on Privatization and Commercialization showed clearly that there is serious infrastructural decay in the ports. Apart from the gridlocks that we have on the way to access the port, the quay walls have started collapsing, and that has started to put the port in severe danger. And if urgent measures are not taken by NPA and the relevant authorities to fix this decaying infrastructure, then there's every tendency that these ports will be closed down in the near future. And once that is done, the employment opportunity we are looking for will be losing more, because the port alone employ about direct 500 Nigerians and about 3,000 auxiliary businessmen that are connected to this port. This port is the gateway to Nigeria's economy. Our analysis and our discussions with the critical stakeholders and with publication shows that Nigeria is losing over 600 billion naira monthly. At this period when we are looking for money,
silence, please.
We are looking for finances to finance our budget. This could be very key areas that Nigeria will need to look into so as to avoid the leakages in our revenue collection. I therefore ask that this House support this motion, give it a life, so that the critical stakeholders will be put together so that the gridlock can also be worked upon. Because from our interactions with the stakeholders, we understand that there are some industries in the port that bring in over 70 trucks a day, while it takes them about 20 days to get in and get out. This is something that ordinarily should be done within hours. But because of the gridlock and because of the road network here, it has become impossible for goods that arrive the port to leave the nation in time and hit the market. And this accounts for why we have some of the rising costs, even in commodities. I therefore urge my honorable colleagues to support this motion so that we can put life back to the gateway to our economy. Our Papa presents a gateway to Nigerian economy. Goods are taken from there to the far north and every part of this country. We all know that is a major port that Nigeria uses. Other ports are as good as redundant. I therefore urge honorable colleagues to give support, give life to this motion, so that the necessary thing will be done, and then we can move forward as a nation and put our economy in proper perspective. I so move.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.